the drum mission. Let's talk traditional grip. That's right, traditional grip. So again, I'm left-handed. I don't want there to be any surprises. That means my left hand has the overhanded fulcrum and the right hand has the underhanded fulcrum. If you were right-handed, it would be the opposite. It would be like this, okay? I do it this way. So before I get into the how-to, let's get into the why I do both, why I choose to do both, and how I came about traditional grip. So this is the way that I learned to play. I started taking lessons when I was 11, and it was a neighborhood teacher, local guy named Carl Ferraro, and he is the one that sat me down, realized I was left-handed, and taught me this. Taught me traditional grip right here. And I did not switch over till my 30s. And what happened was I was playing, I think it was a festival, and there was a guy playing open-handed. And he had just a lot of facility, and obviously he played match grip. Playing open-handed, I think, would be really cumbersome to play traditional grip. Even doing whether you're lefty or righty, playing open-handed would be really hard. Traditional grip, almost lost a stick. So I decided, let me put some of that into my playing. So I started working out with open-handed playing. And then I realized my right hand sucked at overhanded fulcrum. So I thought, all right, before I do that, I better learn how to do this. And I started working on my match grip right hand. And I tried to get it to match my left hand. So for about 10 years, I played exclusively match grip. Exclusively, nothing else. And then, I forget what happened. I think I hurt my right hand, so I couldn't do this. And I ended up playing traditional grip for like a couple of weeks or a month. And I liked it. I liked it. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll do both. And so even now, I do both. Pretty much when I do shuffles or swing, I'm traditional grip, straight up. But there is some R&B and rock tunes that I do traditional grip as well. And then, like in the show that I play normally, we usually close that show with a Zeppelin medley, even though there's a lot of R&B in it, and I do that match grip. So I do a lot of my rock stuff, which is a lot, match grip, and I do a lot of some of the mellower R&B and straight up blues, definitely shuffles or swing, I do that traditional grip. And then I started to think about for this video, why do I do that? Why do I sometimes like traditional and sometimes like match? And I'm going to say this now, then we're going to get into the mechanics, and I'll tell you my theory later. Some things just feel better traditional grip, and some things feel better match. And I have a theory on that, and I'll tell you at the end. But this is why I think you should do both. Because it's another tool for your arsenal. Another tool for your arsenal. And it's like if you had a plumber in your house, and everything that came up, you had to run back to the shop to get the part. Right? You would rather have them just bring all the parts with them. So it's that old saying, better to need it, better to have it and not need it, than need it and not have it. And that's how I started to feel about it. I wanted to have both match grip and traditional in my arsenal. So let's talk about the mechanics. Let's talk about the mechanics. All right, so let's talk mechanics. All right, and remember, whenever I'm showing for a lefty, you want to switch it around for a righty. So I'm going to be showing this to you on my right hand. You want to do it mirror image on your left hand. Okay, so first, you're placing the stick, let me put the stick down. You're placing the stick right here in the webbing, and I'm saying webbing on purpose, all right? That's my little evolution fact for you. Yes, these used to be fins, now they're hands, okay. You know, I never understood the idea that God made, humans on a Saturday at 2 and kumquats Friday at 3. Why would anybody think that? Even if you want to believe in God, let's say that it was more intelligent design. That I could buy. Okay, I'm sorry. Here we go. So I've got the stick right here in the webbing. Now, this is very subjective. Steve Gadd, if you watch him, he's back here. He's way back. Buddy is way up here. He's got a longer stick, but he's way up here. Me, I'm about a third in. I'm about a third in, and I'm right here. And the first thing I teach my students to do is to feel, the ones that want to learn trad grip, I call it trad grip or traditional grip. You want to really learn to feel the gravity on the weight of the stick. So watch. Here's your exercise, guys. So now I'm just moving my hand and bouncing the stick, kind of like if you can think about it. If you remember those paddles where you have the ball on the rubber band, you hit it, that's kind of what you're doing. Because the main difference between traditional grip and match is your traditional grip hand is a turn. Your match grip hand is a hammer, right? That's what my teachers tell me. This is banging a nail into a piece of wood. This is a turn. And so I want to feel the bounce. I want to feel the gravity. Look, I am letting that stick come all the way back. All the way back. And now we're going to utilize this. Before I get into what my fingers do, I want to show you. So even when I'm going quicker, right, it's really, part of the work is being done by inertia and gravity. And if you don't know what inertia is, look it up. Let me show you just doing an old rock beat, same idea. Same idea. I'm going to do it for you right now. Right? When I do this, I'm going to throw the stick further than it should be able to go and kind of whip it down. Watch. Regular old rock beat. So all the work here is being done by my thumb. By my thumb and my wrist turning. My thumb and my wrist turning. So you can get a lot of volume off that because I'm really using gravity. That's one of the other differences of traditional grip. I think traditional grip, you're really using physics to make that stick work. When you're doing match grip, it's more about your power. More about your power. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a lack in my technique, but I really feel that way. Now, as we start getting into speed, again, we got some differences of opinion. That first finger is going to help me. So I want you to watch that. I'm going to just show this and do it in slow-mo too. And there's that guy, I can't remember his name, Greyson, and I'll throw a little clip. He actually, his fingers are way out. He's way out here. I'm nowhere as fast as he is. He is blisteringly fast. Buddy Rich was blistering fast, but Buddy was more controlled. But he's way out here.
One of the techniques I use most often on my left hand is what I call the joystick method. It's kind of like if you want to play in a video game using the joystick. So my thumb is kind of doing this. It's kind of pushing down. The wrist is staying pretty, vertical. It's not really going crazy. And all it is my thumb doing most of the work.
When I'm doing a roll, I want you to see. So this is way out here. I got my finger and I got my thumb and I got my other fingers out. But watch now. We're going to talk the double stroke roll. And this is the key. This really is what you need to learn to do traditional grip. Watch. We all know that and the bounce, but watch this. So I hit, and I hit again with my finger. So this is what you got to learn to do, and this is going to take you a minute. Remember, you don't want to do this. That's wrong, right? You don't want to go so far over, I don't think. Oh, but there are some guys that do that, and they do fine. You want to do this. So watch, I'm gonna get really fast and put it in slow-mo. You can see my fingers moving to make it happen. As the stick comes back up, I push it back down. Back up, I push it back down. And I've got a real, I hate to use this term, kinetic energy motor. Kinetic energy motor. All right, that's going to take you a minute. If you need to, send me an email. I'll work with you on it. I don't do it for free. Yeah, I would do it over Zoom, wherever you are in the world. Send me an email. I'll post it right here. We'll work on it together. I'll check you out, right? So, let me take you into the next part. We're going to talk about my theory as to why I think some songs feel better, traditional grip, than match. Your brain, there's a little biology for you, is wired differently side to side. In other words, your language is more on one side, your emotions are more on another, and so it stands to reason to me, and I could be wrong, I don't know what I'm talking about, that your hands take their instruction in a different way. So when I'm playing traditional grip, I think differently than when I'm playing match. Jojo Mayer said the same thing. And I couldn't find the clip, but if I could, I'd put it in here. Now at the very end of this, I'm gonna do a little shuffle on the way out here, but at the very end of this, I'll show you a little clip from Buddy Rich. He was really anti-match grip. He hated match grip. He didn't think anybody who played match grip would do anything at all. But, all right, Vinnie Colaiuta. Dave Weckl used to play a lot more match grip. Billy Cobham, Dennis Chambers. We can go on and on and on and on. Plenty of guys play match grip and they were great. Steve Gadd does both, traditional and match, although now he plays more traditional. I think as you get older, I think it's a little easier on your muscles, and I think that's part of the reason why I like it better. But let me talk about a particular song. There is a R&B song called I'll Just Say It that I do with Tasha Owens anywhere between 1 and 5 times a week. And when I play this song match grip, I tend to take more fills. And when I play a traditional grip, I don't. And this song just sounds better and feels better when I'm playing traditional, hi-hat, snare, bass drum, 2 and 4, and maybe I take 1 fill. It doesn't feel as good to take 1 fill when I'm playing match. It feels great traditional, and I think because I'm just feeling the song and it's really about the lyrics, my brain, this is my theory, is processing the information differently when I play traditional because it's an underhanded fulcrum than when I play match. So again, why should you do both? I disagree with Buddy. You should do both because why not have every tool in your arsenal that you need? You don't want to be in surgery and the doctor say, you know, I forgot my better scalpel, I gotta go back home and get it. You don't want that to happen. So let me start this shuffle and phase you out to Buddy Rich. Here we go.
This is something I didn't want to do, but I'll do it for you. They have a simple thing that, number one, they hold the sticks wrong. This is called a match grip. Well, that's all right if you're playing timpani. When you play timpanis, this is obviously the way you play a timpani roll. Right? But you can't do the same thing up here on a snare drum. you can't really do anything. The correct way is the drum way, right? Where you can roll, where you can get around that way. Most kids today, they play. I mean, that's the extent of their creativeness. That's the apex.